Okay, let f equal this formula, g equal this formula. Whatever. R is the region bounded by f and g. Done. Find the area of R. Okay, my first dilemma is I need to know which function is on top. Quickest way to do that is to test. They're intersecting here, so that's not going to help. So I'm going to go to x equal 1, which seems to be about here. Just plug it in. So if I go find f of 1, that's going to equal 2 times 1 squared. Remember, if you're writing, making progress. This is good. So that would be 2 minus 6 is negative 4, plus 4 is 0. Hey, I found it. So f is the bottom. So here's f. Here's g. Label that so don't forget. Okay. Find the area of R, simple. Integrate from x equals 0 to x equals 2. Function that is on the top. I have to do this by hand though, so I can't use my calculator, so I've got to write it out now. Cosine 1/4 pi x. Oops, got to have to subtract. Subtract, make sure this first parenthesis is larger. The other function. With the subtract, be careful. Got to put this in parentheses. So we are subtracting all of f, not just the 2x squared. Must subtract all of f, not just the 2x squared. We have our large black closing parenthesis here, dx. That's the beginning. Now I've got to solve that integral by hand. So we don't integrate. Instead, we anti-differentiate and evaluate because we don't have a calculator. 4 is a multiplying constant. Just write equal here. The antiderivative of the cosine of ax plus 0 would be 1 over the a. It's going to look kind of bad here. 1 over the a sine of the ax plus b. Like that. Must evaluate that. Oh wait, I've got the minus now. Sorry. So we have the minus. Don't forget the parentheses. This would become 2x cubed over 3 minus 6x squared over 2 plus 4x. The good news is we don't have to do all the computations. Just got to make sure we get the parentheses in the right place, get the evaluate bar in the right place. We're doing great. So let's go see how they gave points on part A. So I had this written down. That got me 1 point. Then I correctly found the two antiderivatives. They've simplified theirs. You don't have to simplify it. You can leave it exactly as I wrote it here. That's worth 2 more points, total of 3 so far. The very last point comes from simply taking this and plugging in 2 and plugging in 0. So you don't want to really spend any time, don't want to do any thinking right now. Well, that sounds like heresy to say don't think, but you really don't. You just want to plug in. So I'm going to go like this. You'd have more room on your paper. Just write it all out. Well, I don't need the big parenthesis mark because I'm going to plug in the 0 and the 2. So you can forget that. So we have 4. We have this 1 over 1/4 pi kind of mess here. Sine 1/4 pi. Take away the x. I put in parentheses. Plug in a 2. Minus, we've got 2, oh, don't forget that parenthesis. Plug in the 2 cubed over 3 minus, that can be 3, that was pretty easy, 2 squared plus 4 times 2, don't forget the parenthesis, and all of that must subtract, and it's going to be a whole bunch of things being subtracted, so make sure you have another parenthesis. Now you just write it all out again. So it's a lot of writing, but it's an easy point because there's no computation. So just be careful to get all your parentheses in the right places. And minus, gotta have another parenthesis. 2, 0 cubed over 3 minus 3 times 0 squared plus 4 times 0. If you recognized that all of that's going to be 0, you could have saved a lot of writing. But if you didn't recognize it, it's totally fine to write it all out. That's worth 1 more point. What they did in their answer is they recognized that the sign of 0 is going to be 0. So all of this is 0. And all of that's 0, so they only wrote that. It does save a bit of writing. That's 1 more point. So part A was worth a total of 4 points. Part A was worth a total of 4 points. Please check your work carefully. You do not want to get overconfident, saying, oh yeah, I did it right. You've got to have the right parentheses in all the right places. Just make sure the parentheses make sense.